This was meant to be the biggest piece of tenancy legislation since the 1988 Housing Act, and all it's done is to further perpetuate the control that the corporate landlords are going to have over us all. And how I know this because I've heard the corporate landlord CEOs speak about it, and they see this as a big win. And this is why currently typical landlords will regain possession of their homes through a Section 21, a no-fault eviction. As we know, that's now being removed. It means that landlords are going to have to use a Section 8. The tenant is going to have to be proven to have breached a contract within court. And the effect of that is that if that tenant then doesn't pay, make up the damages, repair the damages that they've created in the property, whatever it might be, they will be branded with a CCJ. Previously, that wouldn't have been the case. Most landlords would have avoided going to court because of the fees, because of the costs, because of the time, and they would have just issued a Section 21. So that tenant could have quite merrily gone along to the next unsuspecting landlord and done exactly the same thing. Or if it wasn't actually intentional, they were just in hard times, again, they could have gone to a new landlord and reinvented themselves and got over that difficult period in their life and carried on growing. And that's who, I really care about. So these people, whether they be old or they be out of employment for a short time, they're going to be impacted. Because the moment you get branded with the CCJ, the corporate landlord, they can see the fact that you're someone who doesn't pay your rent. And guess what? Do you think they're going to rent to you now? No. So just in the same way, you can't get a mortgage when you get a CCJ, under limited circumstances, you're not going to be able to get a house when you get a CCJ because of the introduction of this new Renters' Rights Bill. So what that's going to mean is that in the first year, it's going to be very difficult to small private landlords, but the big landlords, they're going to wipe out the small private landlords, reduce the competition. They're going to bring legal services in-house to the degree in which they can, and they can ride out the void periods. So for them, they'll just suck it up. But what in turn it does is it'll be able to mark you're a good tenant and you're a bad tenant. And the moment you've been branded with the CCJ, you're a bad tenant and we're not going to rent you. So in the long term, I personally think this could drive up homelessness, and I think you'll get to a position where those people who've been branded with the CCJ will only be able to rent from increasingly corporate landlords through councils or local housing associations. So in the long term, this is going to push the burden onto the state, and also in between, when the gaps are missed, is potentially even increase homelessness. This is not a win for tenants. And this was the biggest piece of legislation in the last 40 years. This plays into the hands of corporate landlords.